All right, it's lunchtime, dinch time, it's brunch time. Greetings and hello, and embrace and connect and work together, walk together, think together, learn together. This is our time. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to have you all coming into our lunch table, our dinner table, our brunch table. So thankful for you all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I am feeling pretty mighty today from the Ukraine. Greetings to you. How are you today? Thank you. Hello, hello. I got a hoot hoot there. Minister Crystal, we got to talk in a little bit. Apostle Tyree, wonderful to have you as well. Good to see you all. Greenville, South Carolina, wonderful. Brooklyn is signing on. Wonderful. My New York folk are on the scope. Dallas, Las Vegas, Memphis, Tennessee. Good afternoon to you. Blessings to you again. Oh, Prophetess Jackie, good to see you from New York. Also from the UK, wonderful. Holland, Albany, wonderful. Aiken, South Carolina, wonderful. Nashville, Tennessee, Baton Rouge, wonderful. Texas, wonderful. Oh, I see Charlotte as well. You guys are coming fast here with me today. Dr. Roma, it's been wonderful. Greetings to you. Congratulations on so many things. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Everett, Massachusetts. You put that in caps. You wanted me to see that. I bless Everett, Massachusetts. I saw San Francisco, Phoenix, Arizona. You guys are on the scope for lunch. So glad. New Jersey, Rockingham, North Carolina. Thank you so very much for being here with me. Beverly, California. I did not miss you. Goldsboro, North Carolina, DKTC. That's my house there and my peeps. I bless you. Pathfinder is on. South Carolina. Well, you guys are in the scope. We are insulated in here. God is good. Things are great. I see Augusta. I see Louisville, Kentucky. Blessings to you. I would love to come absolutely to Lexington. Definitely. Thank you so much for considering me. Wonderful again to Holland and that whole region in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so thankful for you all doing so many things right in your sphere. I feel that you are moving and making progress and really taking new steps and really taking new dimensions. And so I want to bless you. I want to enlarge you. I want to increase you. So many times in this life, we do not get the encouragement that we need, that we just don't get folks saying, go do that thing, work it. We don't have many coaches. We don't have many applauders. We don't have those on the sideline of our life. Many times we're working in the trenches. We're working in the crunches. We're working behind the scenes, and so many people don't know the steps we're taking, the hard things we're doing, the sweat we are just pouring out of our pores because we want to be right and righteous. So I really want the Seven Mountain Periscope, this Power Scope, to be a place of encouragement for you. And I'm so thankful that many of you have been talking to me on Facebook, sending me notes, really connecting with me to let me know how much this encourages you. And so that encourages me. Listen, let's just do some housekeeping really quick and just put some new rules on the board here on PowerScope. Is that I know that I'm pretty good. I got tough skin. I can take a licking and keep on ticking. I can take a punch and still come back with for lunch. You know, I'm just good like that over, 35 years of ministry. But I know that many of you are really agitated this morning by all of the racial slurs, all of the gender slurs, all of the pieces that were really sexual as well, and that really irritates you. And so I want to be sensitive to you are my guest here on PowerScope for lunch, dinner, brunch. And so I don't want you to be put out. It would be like we were sitting in a restaurant and somebody came up and said those things. So I want to be sensitive to you. And many of you have said, please block some of the trolls, please, because we want to concentrate. We want to learn. So I'm going to have my staff go through the feeds and do some blocking. I can handle it. We want to encourage them. But for your sake and for the sake of your learning and your listening, I want to do that. Is that okay? I want to be inconsiderate of of you by being considerate of them. So I'm trying to balance what I'm hearing and balance what I'm learning and balance what I'm feeling. All right. So absolutely, you are welcome. And so we will do that. So by Wednesday morning at 7, we will have those early morning trolls that like to come in and agitate. We'll get those settled down. And if we do have one come in, we'll still bless them. All right. And so that's kind of the way I want to proceed. So we're just going to move forward. I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for all of your comments. I thank you for all of your feedback on that. So let's get into this whole playtime thing, because this morning we made a declaration. We said, I declare playtime is over. Now that declaration changes the game. It changes the landscape. It changes the environment and the habitat of your life, your thoughts, and your actions. When you declare that playtime is over, you've got to know that now things are getting ready to shift big time. You've gone from playtime to big time. Come on here. Hashtag big time. So when you get into big time, you've got to know next moves. You got to know, once I shut a door, once I tell somebody, no, that's over. Once I close a sector of my business, shut down a part of my ministry, tell somebody in my family, whether it's my children or a friend, that's not happening anymore. What are my next steps? And what do I need to do for that? And so we want to get into that. But before we do, I'm finding that many of us don't always have the wherewithal to handle saying, well, maybe let me do it this way, to handle the following of saying playtime is over. So we can say it, and we'd be like, ooh, I said it. Girl, I told them yes. And, we can snap the finger, we can move the neck. But once we declare it, something needs to be put in position and something needs to be changed. Now, many of us can say it, or we can think it, or we can want it, but we have hindrances. There are things that hinder us from declaring playtime is over. Or even when we declare playtime is over, we still feel a little shaky. We're like, okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Dr. Yolanda, you done got me out here on this limb. Now, what does that mean? Like, what am I talking about? Like, what are we really settling in our being when we say playtime is over? And so I really wanted to do quickly some hindrances to why we are many times intimidated by our own declarations. We are intimidated, right? By our own declarations. Say, come on now. We get into a place where we say it, but then we got the reverb, right? We got the reverb back and the retaliation comes. And so many times that keeps us fearful, or at least reserved and pulled back, because we don't want to take another lick on nothing. We tired of getting kicked, stomped, pushed, and so many times we hold back that move, that next move that has to happen, that must happen, because we're caught in the middle in some kind of, it's kind of a sphere of fear, a sphere of reservation or being reserved. So I want to look at that today, because what we learned this morning was there are at least 3 things that keep us in childlike mode, keep us from really moving out of playtime and moving from playtime to maturity. And what the Apostle Paul tells us in that 1 Corinthians passage is that many times I was playful and being in playtime as a child because of my speech, because of my understanding, and because of my thoughts. So those 3 areas is what keeps us locked down into playtime. So in order to get out of playtime and to next moves, we've got to come out of the way we talk. Watch this, the way we understand, and what we do, because I want to put speech and doing and thinking kind of together. And so the way we think, way we speak, the way we think, and what we do is kind of the childlikeness that Paul talked about. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. When I was a child, I had understanding of a child. When I was a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. So he's telling us, the wisdom of the apostle is telling us that we need to deal with our speech, with our understanding, and with our thoughts. Now, understanding and thoughts look like they go together, but really understanding is what we do. So when I spoke it, I did it because I thought it. All right. And so we've got to get those 3 in order. And the first thing I want you to know is the way we speak, The way we utter, the way we talk has a lot to do with the way we see ourselves. It's our communication area. It's the way we're frustrated or we are jubilant. So out of our jubilant comes our words. Out of our frustration comes our words. So the first thing that I want us to work on today is in terms of a coaching scope and looking at this whole playtime is over. What's my next move? Next move is enhance my conversation. I've got to enhance my conversation. I've got to enhance the way I use words, the way I use language, the way I come back, the way I retort, the way I rebuttal. I've got to learn a better way, to conversate in my life, my ministry, and my business. Hopefully this is helping y'all, because if Paul said I spoke as a child, but he was getting out of being like a child, getting out of playtime, it meant that he put some real dibs on his words. He wouldn't let words come out. And I was thinking about some of the ways we conversate when we're frustrated and how that keeps us in childlike playtime. I said childlike playtime. And so one of the things we might say is, I can't stand you. Just out of the way. I can't stand you. Playful words between friends. Things that, you frustrate me. You hurt me. You made me feel bad. I can't stand you. And so instead of talking like a child, those words don't really make no sense when you're an adult. So now we're going to take from I can't stand you to something like let's talk. I need to share with you how this makes me feel. All right. I need to have a conversation with you because there are some things that you are doing. There's some things that the way you're acting, the way you're talking that's irritating me or it's frustrating me. So I want to have a conversation with you. All right. So now there's a difference between saying walking away from the boss, walking away out of the meeting and saying, I can't stand them. They just get on my last nerves. Wait a minute. Stop. We don't want to be childish. We got to be mature. We got to be mature. So now we got to turn back and say, you know what? Some of the 3 things that you all said in this meeting has really caused me some internal problems. And I would love to have a time just to share those with you because I don't want to be frustrated. Now that's maturity, right? That's when we're getting to in ministry the same way. Listen, I know that you're the deacon and the elder over this situation, but some things happen and I'd like to have a conversation and just share with you some of my observations instead of saying, you know what, these people don't do nothing right. They just don't handle this. Let's change and enhance our conversation, number 1. If we learn to talk right, we'll feel better, but we'll also represent Christ better, all right? We will be mature. We will be actually coming into that mature state that Christ is waiting on his body to come into. I'm not helping y'all. Oh, she said, that's meat. All right, good. If you see that as meat, then we eating it. We're getting it done because enhancing your conversation is a way to no longer be childish, to tell playtime you're over, and then to move to your next step, to take your next move. And that would be enhance my conversation. All right. Now, the next thing that kind of gets us when this playtime thing, we declared it, we believe it, but we really are in frustration over it. And that's often the way that we feel about ourselves. In other words, we still have the conversations of our former friends, of our parents. We have even our former boss, our divorcees, you still hear the conversation that make you feel childish in your head, make you feel childish because you remember the things they said, the things they did. And so that tries to keep you childlike. And so you want to be able to address that. And the way that I believe that we do that is to update your current profile. Number 2, update your current profile. It means you got to get rid of the resume that has all the bad stuff on it, all the stuff you didn't do, all the stuff you failed at, all the relationships that didn't work, all the products you didn't sell, all the businesses that didn't get off the ground right, all of the ministries that didn't work out. People left. They talked about you. They talked about everything about you. See, that makes you have a resume that keeps you in playtime, smallness, and childlike. Because now you're going to say, well, they ain't like me, so I just kicked them out, or they didn't work out, or we don't want to be childlike. We want to be mature. We want to grow up in grace and in the knowledge of Jesus Christ. So the first thing, enhance your conversation, right? The second thing, update your current profile. Get rid of your former resume, where you work, how you did it, what you was learning, the mistakes you made. All that we'll keep in a file, but we're not going to use it when we begin to move, when we begin to scale mountains, when we begin to make new relationships. We're going to have a current This is who I am now. This is where I have arrived at. These are the things I have learned, and this is the position that I'm taking now. Not what I did then, not what I did with my ex, not what I did with my former job, not what I did with my former business. No, this is your current profile, not your former resume. Is that making sense? All right. Anita said, I hear you. I hear you. So now this becomes very critical because we've got to get this straight. We got to get our conversation straight. We got to get our current profile straight. The last thing, and I'm really moving good today. We ain't got no issues. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. All right. So listen, now, if we got our conversation right and we've enhanced our conversation, we've got new language, we've got new words, we've got ways in which we're dealing confrontationally, eyeball to eyeball. We're FaceTiming people. We're sitting down, face to face, eyeball to eyeball. And we're telling people what really irritates, what really, is awesome with them as well. So we're having good conversations, and we're having those conversations that are not as good, not as comfortable, but we are not pulling back and talking in the back. We're going straight up, straight in, and we're dealing with that. Second thing is we're updating our profile. We're not living under the guise of what somebody said about us, what they thought about us, what they spoke about us in secret, what they said to our face, things they said that hurt us. That's not our profile anymore. And the last thing that we need to do, number 3, is that we need to really move the currency. Move the currency. And this is a word that I got to explain because this is the way I heard it. Number 3, move the currency. Currency is usually what you spend. It's the money you have. Currency. I have $5. I got $10. I got $20. Our thoughts become like currency. Our thoughts become like things that can mobilize us, can monetize us, can move us forward. So move the currency is move your thoughts from small to great. That's how you grow. That's how you mature. That's how you get into getting over playtime and into your next move is you move the currency. The currency of what? The currency of your thoughts, your ideas, your visions, your dreams. Don't go small, go big. If you move the currency and ideas are like currency, then you can feel yourself growing. You can feel your business growing. You can feel your ministry growing. Why? Because you're moving currency, because you're exchanging currency. So you want to exchange currency, move currency. And currency is ideas. They're the things that you've been holding back, the things you've been putting away to the side, the things that you've been saying, I can't do that. That keeps you in playtime. Playtime is over. You got to get out of playtime into next moves. That next move is really enhancing your conversation. Come on, I got it down. Updating your current profile and moving your currency or exchanging your currency. All right. So when you exchange currency, you are moving from just keeping stuff up here, keeping stuff in here, ideas, visions, and dreams, and you're moving them forward. I'm telling you, that will make you grow up. You want to grow up. You want to be mature. You want to get out of playtime. Then put an idea into movement. Put an idea into momentum. Start the vision to moving. Breathe life into the vision. Massage the things that you've been saying, that you've dreamed of, that God had put in your belly. You want to make playtime over? Then you got to take your next move. You got to take your next move. You got to get out of that thing that says, well, one day, maybe later. Oh, well, I don't know, but well, I know. You've got to exchange currency. You've got to move the currency. The currency is all the stuff you've been dreaming. It's all the stuff you've been wanting. It's all the stuff you've been feeling. And if you are declaring this week that playtime is over, then you've got to exchange currency. If it's a 5, if you got a 20, then come on, let's get it move on. Let's move it. Let's get some 5s, some 10s, some 1s. Let's get it divvied out. Let's divvy it up. Let's make it work. Let's take and break down those things that we've dreamed, those things that we envision, those things that are just like ideas, little things. They will make your life pop. They will make your life move. They will make your ministry expand. They will cause your business to blow up. They will bring those things that are in your heart into a book with a cover, baby, and your name on it. They'll cause that radio show that you should be leading. You will be the one to do it. That dress you've been designing and saying, you know what, this should look like this. I've never seen this even in Nordstrom's. That's the thing that's in you. That is the exchange of currency that will move you out of playtime into playing big. All right. So I'm so excited today to have been with you. I've got to let you go. I know this has been a quick meal, but I wanted you to know that you have the goods. All you got to do is once you declare it, now you got to deliver on the goods. Once you say playtime is over, then you got to get to your next big move, and it's already in there. You ain't got to pull it out the sky. You ain't got to pull it out of nobody else's coffer. You ain't got to pull it up and drum it up. It's already in you. All right. So blessings to you. Playtime is over. Hashtag next move. It's already there. You know what it is. Let's get it kicking. Change your conversation, update your current profile, and exchange your currency. All right. Blessings to you. Have a great rest of the day. We will be back Wednesday here on Dr. Yolanda's Power Scope, the 7 Mountain Periscope, and we'll be doing some other things still in declaration. I declared this week. We'll be looking at another piece there on Wednesday, and we'll be dealing with the trolls before then. All right. Blessings to you. Have a great day. Love, blessings, and shalom.